has kind of helped him
Best
today.
thing ever happened to him, yeah. He's starting the day 11th up to 10th, and maybe more. He can hang on for another 4.5 kilometres. Oh, but out of those hairpins, they hurt a bit. Still Adam Yates looks in control of his effort. Proved to be the go-to final mountain domestique for Tadej Pogačar today. Lipovic and Primož Roglic also looking pretty good in there. We've barely spoken about Jonas Vingegaard on the mountain itself. Much of the conversation today was about his ability, or what he was planning in terms of attacks. So far, nothing from Vingegaard. If he wants that stage win, maybe he's going to try and do something inside the final couple of kilometres. I feel that Tadej Pogačar is not forgiving gifts just yet.
No, but he can't wait too long now. I think, 4.5 Ks to go. Cannot wait too much longer now if he wants to try and win the stage, because he's going to run out of roads.
Healy's coming out here, and on his day in yellow on the Hodecam, you felt that maybe he resisted for a tiny bit too long, and that on the penultimate climb, and that measuring his efforts, as Remco Evenepoel had done, might have been the better option. And he had a little look over his shoulder to see what's happening behind. Haaland, I think, is also potentially the next man flirting with disaster. What an impressive effort this has been from Adam Yates. One by one, he's pushing them behind. Little 10% gripper. Those that have been detached will hope that when the gradient eases a bit, as it will, the pole climb there. Timon Arensman, another kilometre under his wheels, comes to the 4K to go. These gantries announcing another kilometre done, they will be encouragement to Timon Arensman.
Yeah, 4Ks to go. Well, this man, can he hold on? There's only one man I think can catch him, and that's Pogačar.
He's wearing yellow. Yes, it's not Felix Gall, his nearest chaser on the hill. The rate of capture you don't feel is just enough for Gall to get to him. But Tadej Pogačar waiting to pull the trigger behind. Vauquelin has leaked what, about 13 seconds or so, 14.
But that's if Pogačar does. He might not. He might just sit there and make sure that he's kind of best of the rest. But with 2 minutes and 15, 2:16, Gall not closing it down. The only person that can catch him in the last 4 kilometres here is Pogačar, and if he's not launching now, and his Grenadiers looking likely to get their first stage win of the tour.
That'll be a big moment. Great boost of morale for the squad. Coming down, 147 now, so a little bit of a gain there for Gall. And he's now got the bones of half a minute on the chase group behind, trying to close down 1 minute and 7 seconds to Tobias Haaland. Haaland is just about grimly hanging on by his fingernails in that group. He's still there, and Healy's back, so gradient has eased here slightly, and that's, I think, allowed those riders back in.
Yeah, the fact that Pogačar hasn't gone is now looking a little bit more likely that Arensman's going to take this victory today. Because if he'd have launched further down this climb, maybe it'd be 5 to go, I think Pogačar could have made the difference. But for the moment anyway, it could be jubilation for Ennis Grenadiers.
Felix Gall, will he manage to continue the rapid progress that he's making? Is it enough, that familiar style, elbows out, knees out? That metronomic progress on the mountain. 8%. To grip again, and Austrian rider starts to feel the effect. 4 to go for the Jersey group, so you know that our leader out front is 600 metres ahead. And here it comes. That's the attack we've been waiting all day. Indeed, we've been waiting 2 weeks for it. Jonas Vingegaard goes. Immediate response from Lipovic and, of course, from Tadej Pogacar. Behind, Oscar Onley looks to respond, looks over his shoulder. Primož Roglic not interested. Tobias Holland not interested. Ben Healy's happy enough to be with those. And so this is Jonas Vingegaard thinning it out, but he's got the headache that Tadej Pogacar is there. This is bad news, I think, for Tim and Aronsman, as Lipovic is now distanced, and Oscar Onley finds himself in no man's land, but he'll chase and harry to try and get on terms with Lipovic.
Yeah, Pogacar looks relaxed. Body language says he is relaxed, but the fact is it came too late on the climb. Vingegaard waiting until, what, 3.5 kilometres to go. It's looking a little bit more likely because, you know, Pogacar never went over the top, he never accelerated, so looking a lot better for Aronsman now.
Only finds himself in a lonely solo chase of Florian Lipovic. Desperately wants to stay on terms in the battle for the young rider competition. But your top 3 of general classification are the top 3 from the favourites group at the moment. Lipovic just attached. Will he be able to make his way back on? Vingegaard continues to tap out a rhythm, and Tadej Pogacar's just going to follow him.
That's all he has to do. He doesn't have to do it. That's what I'm saying. He doesn't have to do it. But your next team have done a lot of work, and there's no better way than winning the stage to say thank you. But for the moment anyway, Pogacar is just quite happy to follow. Lipovic comes up to them. Nice to see that Vingegaard actually went on the attack, but I don't think Pogacar was under any trouble whatsoever. But I do think that the fact that Pogacar hasn't done anything, with 1:48, 2.5 kilometres to go, it's looking a lot better for Aronsman now to pull this one off.
Roglic out to half a minute. I think they're moving the bikes around on the roof rack of the Red Bull Hansgrohe car after this one. Lipovic clearly establishing himself in the mountain road racing as the premier force for the Red Bull Hansgrohe squad. Gal is about to be dragged back. Here comes Bog. Bog's gone for it. The yellow jersey attacks, and he's decided enough is enough. Is that all you got? And now his bid for a 3rd successive stage victory. 2.5 kilometres remaining, and the gap to the front of the race manageable, perhaps. 1 minute and 40 seconds. Well, Vingegaard has responded to that one. Lipovic is further removed from their inquiries, for now at any rate. Gal, by attacking, by racing solo for a little while, finds himself in a position for fine stage result, a decent result. No way he can respond to that. Vingegaard goes again. They're hitting each other, 1 for 1. 2 and a bit kilometres remaining, and still 1:38. Coming down quickly. Crowds merge in front of the riders. And then the sea parts. Look over his shoulder, a little bit frustrated, as if to say, you still here?
I know there's a steep bit still to come, but with 1.5 minutes, 2 kilometres to go, I think Aronsman has got this one, and it's, you know, it's down to himself. It all hinged on UAE Team Emirates, and they set a strong tempo, but not a scintillating tempo. But I think Pogacar just happy to follow Vingegaard.
Yeah, a little 10% section with 900 metres to go that won't be much appreciated by your leader at front. Jonas Vingegaard has drawn the yellow jersey clear. Lipovic being distanced, so I suppose in some measure Vingegaard is at least protecting his 2nd place overall. Only his falling further in arrears, but he'll, the way things are going, become will he move up to 4th place on general classification? That would appear to be the likely outcome of this. Lots of maths to be done between now and the top of the hill, and after it and on beyond, as Jonas Vingegaard continues to lead the yellow jersey into the final mile of racing for the man up front, who's surely done enough at this point.
Yeah, they're not closing at all, 1.5, and the way they're riding at the moment, Pogacar, he made a little bit of an effort there. He's leaving it all up to Vingegaard now, so I think Aronsman's got his stage, and Lipovic looks good. He's just been distanced there by Pogacar and Vingegaard, but Oscar Onley, well, if he gets up to 4th, which I think he will now, he'll be matching what Robert Miller did away back in the 80s. which still remains today the best ever placing of a Scot in the Tour de France of 4th place.
A huge moment for him. For Scotland, Superbagnères has been friendly to Scottish riders as Oscar Onley continues to chase. He's at 20 seconds now to Lipovic. Lipovic racing solo, so maybe he might be able to get back on. And down to the final kilometre for your leader out front as he races into the mist at the top of Luchon-Superbagnères. It's the super because it's above Bagnères. It's pretty super if you're Thymen Arensman as well. 1,000 metres remaining, an advantage of 1.5 minutes. Surely he's going to be enough. And he can enjoy this moment and start to soak it up. Still needs to continue to push all the way to the top of the climb here. They'll be keeping him pretty motivated from the team car behind. He'll stay in his rhythm, but what an investment he has made, and what a beautifully judged effort. Joining the group of favourites, electing not to go with Lenny Martinez as he launched on the Tourmalet. And then joining the group of raiders, I should say, not the group of favourites, but he then, of course, fine performance on the Aspen and particularly on the Pay Resort as well. Slowly but surely found that he was the man out front, and he's heading towards a major success in his career, a 2nd Grand Tour success. He got a stage victory in the Vuelta a España from 2022. 2 second-place finishes in Giro d'Italia as well. 2nd from Tour de France as well earlier on this year, stage 10. Now he's going to go one better. Down to the final 700 metres for your stage leader. A little too late for these riders, and one wonders whether Tadej Pogačar will actually outsprint, or elect to try and outsprint Jonas Vingegaard.
I think he has to. Even the bonus he's on, he doesn't want to give any hope to Vingegaard at all. They're bitter rivals. They got on off the bike, very respectful of each other. But the difference today is Pogačar maybe he thought it was too much, but he seems to just want to kind of follow for the moment. He put in one attack, but that was it. Pogačar of old, maybe I've tried to go again, but I think what he's waiting for is just to pounce, take the 6-second bonus.
Great performance by Felix Gall. He's staying with Florian Lipovic, who's got about 33 odd seconds, 31, 33, something like that kind of difference between himself and Oscar Onley, who nonetheless is potentially moving up to 4th overall. Much maths to be done, as I said, but no doubt about the man who'll be in yellow at the end of today. It's Tadej Pogačar tracking his nearest rival. It's been almost routine for the UAE Team Emirates squads. They had the lead of the favourites group. They had plenty of riders available to set a steady tempo, to thin out this group, and ultimately Jonas Vingegaard's attack, and attacks plural indeed, maybe a little bit too little too late. Nonetheless, he reinforces his position as the 2nd best rider, and by some considerable margin, in Tour de France 2025. Drips a bit at this point in that final kilometre, up to 10%. And Gall there to assist Lipovic in his efforts to pull himself away from Oscar Onley. Thymen Arensman, proud moment for the Dutchman. Well, it's just a 2nd victory of the season for Thymen Arensman, but this is miles better than the last one. This is a 1st stage victory in Tour de France for Ineos Grenadiers this year, and for Thymen Arensman in his career. It's a huge moment. He takes the glory, he takes victory on stage 14 of Tour de France. Luchon-Superbagnères falls to Thymen Arensman of Ineos Grenadiers. Now the battle for the minor positions. 6 and 4 bonus seconds on offer here, so as you say, no gifts likely from Tadej Pogačar for Jonas Vingegaard, who's waiting for the inevitable attack and chases from behind, potentially going to get on terms. Not that that will be of any great concern to either of them. And we pick them out through the mist. On the finish line cameras, and Tadej Pogačar out of the saddle, waiting, lurking. Vingegaard tracking the barriers, making Pogacar go one side, he goes to the right, and is there going to be any contest here? The yellow jersey. Can Jonas Vingegaard get on terms? Well, I think it's pretty unlikely, really. And he gives up the ghost there. Inevitable. There'll even be a little bit of a gap between them on the line. It's second place on the line, so no hat-trick for Tadej Pogacar, but a routine defence of his yellow jersey and an enhanced advantage on general classification to boot, as Felix Gall powers up the finishing straight to take a fine fourth place on the stage ahead of Florian Lipovic, who's emptying the tank to put as much daylight as he possibly can between himself and Oscar Onley. We'll wait for the arrival of the Scottish rider from Kelso. And Onley is in a world of hurt. It's a really painful end to a really successful day in many ways. Ultimately, we'll be just on about 2 minutes down on the stage winner. Oscar Onley, a signal that he is a true Grand Tour contender. And moving up, we believe, towards fourth place in general classification as Oscar Onley completes. Just a bit more time to Florian Lipovic. And congratulations from Tadej Pogacar to the stage winner.
Open up here, guys, sorry.
Altogether, more fatigued than the second place man.
He looked in control there, didn't he, Pogacar? Just kind of quite happy to follow. For Oscar Onley, it's all about putting time into everybody else, including Roglic. But another top ride today from Ben Healy. Moves himself well inside the top 10.
There's Hallam behind him, and Primož Roglic riding in alongside him. So Ben Healy moving up into the top 10. It's been a great Tour de France for him. Been a great day out for Tobias Hallam Johansson. He's lost a little bit of time here, but he's gained a lot of friends. Still be in the top 10 after that one. And Vauquelin too has fought manfully, but a really, really challenging day. You get a lot of support across the finish line. Carlos Rodriguez had to reach the top 10 for him, but he can celebrate glory for the Ineos Grenadier squad. Vauquelin and the others will be escorted to a place where they can start to recover and reflect for Tillmann Arensman. A big moment for that team, actually.
Yeah,
really needed something.
Huge. That stage all hinged on UE Team Emirates. The way they're riding today was for the stage, and you know, you heard Pogacar afterwards congratulating him. He said, you know, really top effort, you know what I mean? So take nothing away from Arensman. He held them up. I thought he cut to. Yeah. I think he'd, you know, with Pogacar, but the longer they left it and they left it and they left it, and then Pogacar was just quite content in the end. He doesn't have to take the stage. He doesn't have to take more. He just has to not lose any time.
He's in protect mode, isn't he?
He looked to be a little bit in protect mode there towards the end, which meant that Arensman was fine. But this is what I was saying early on in the stage with Lenny Martinez. Lenny Martinez early on the stage